Alright, Barak Hawa, Barak Shai, Barak Hawa, Barak Shai, Barak Hawa, Barak Shai, Barak Hawa, Bashim Hawa Shai, Basham Raka Kodash. The honors to the elders and apostles of GMS Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to all of the Akims in the four corners of this earth, pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. The speckled word Akims and Akwats out there who are tuned in, listening and learning sincerely. Shalom. This is Brendan Nahal from GMS Jamaica Camp. This is just a quick update on the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, not God, not Jehovah. The true name of His Son is Yahushai, not Jesus, not Yeshua. Right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Israelites, predominantly according to the curses in Deuteronomy 28. Said predominantly because our people were scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, so our people will be looking like other nations as well. Alright, so don't take the RFID microchip, because it's a mark of the beast spoken of in Revelation 13 and 16. This is just a quick update. Let's get into it.
生まれた瞬間から人は手で伝えてきた。愛を語り、慈しみ、友情を示す。ものを作り、形も作り、技を生み出す。人々をつなぎ、感触を確かめる。自然を感じ、魔法も起こす。そして今、私たちはその先へと進化する。一歩。それはあなたの手を鍵にするテクノロジー。さまざまなものにつながり、アクセスを可能にする。あなたの安心も自由もあなたの健康も便利もつながりも安全もあなたの管理も日常もこれからはすべての鍵があなたの手の中に。一歩。
Right? Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And that's it, So this is the vision, the RFID microchip, being the mark of the beast, right? So it will not tarry, it's on its way. And even though this video was in the Japanese language, you can clearly see the photographic information, right? Telling you what the RFID microchip will be used to cover. And you can visit their webpage as well, right? The webpage, the link to their webpage is in the description box right here. Slack, there it is. So you can visit their webpage as well.
The onset of the coronavirus pandemic is forcing institutions around the world to rethink about one particularly germy service: cold hard cash. This is going to be hard hard to hear, but according to multiple studies, microorganisms found living on the surface of cash and even credit cards range from mouth and vaginal bacteria to flu-like viruses. But what if you can make your daily purchases without touching a thing? Welcome to Sweden, where thousands of people are inserting tiny microchips under their skin so that they no longer have to carry cash, IDs, gym passes, and key cards to get into work.
I have 2 microchip implants, one on the right and one on the left. I got the micro implants because I wanted to be part of the future. I don't need keys, so I'm able to actually open the doors with my hands.
These tiny chips are about the size of a grain of rice, and they're implanted into the back of the hand with a syringe. And so far, about 3,000 Swedes have gotten them implemented.
So in Sweden, you can actually use it to put your train tickets inside. You can actually use it with Scandinavia's biggest gym chain, so you don't actually need to show your membership card. I use it personally as a business card, so you can actually put your phone on my hand and then my LinkedIn pops up.
So, who's behind this technology? This is Hans Sepienschoblood, and he's the CEO and co-founder of Disruptive Subdermals. They're one of the leading companies when it comes to developing microchip technologies.
I first encountered chip implants for humans almost 10 years ago. I felt that this is a very interesting technology that we could potentially do some awesome things with. So I bought a bunch online, got together a bunch of friends, and we had our first chip implant party. Another one reason for getting an implant is simply convenience. It allows you to eliminate some of the clutter in your life. Implants can also be used for making payments. For example, here at Epicenter in Stockholm, we use our implants in different vending machines, buying snacks and candy and juices whenever we feel like it.
Revelation 13 verse 16. And he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That's the neuro implant or the RFID microchip. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And you've heard it clearly a while ago, yo. The guy said that you can use RFID microchip to make payments. You know what I mean? Right now they're starting out at vending machines and so on and such. Right, but you even have Amazon One, where Amazon basically has a new interface where you can use the palm of your hand to make payments, yo. So it's all been integrated, right?
Microchips may sound too futuristic for you, but Sweden is expected to be the world's first cashless economy by March of 2023. But now, microchips could be used for more than just convenience. They have the potential to change healthcare and the way governments are handling the coronavirus crisis.
I am convinced that smart implants will provide a marvelous value to people who suffer from different health conditions and need to be able to log their vital parameters on a regular basis. It could be body temperature, pulse, blood pressure, and imagine if you could just do that by swiping yourself with a smartphone at any time. For example, the implants that we designed allow people to measure their body temperature. It has some very interesting applications to see how fever is spreading in the population. And I think that we will really need those tools to not least understand the ongoing pandemic, but in particular to be able to spot future pandemics at an early stage.
But how safe is your data in a body chip?
So I'm not particularly concerned about the hacking dimension of implants, because ultimately the processing of data doesn't happen in the implant. It's simply a sensor platform. All the processing happens in the smartphone. That's where the data is analyzed and where it's packaged and presented.
Cybertech experts still cite potential issues with data handling. If data isn't secure, others can access your info. And once it's out there, it's hard to get back. And in some cases, users could even be giving their data away without even realizing it in the terms and conditions that they sign on their smartphones. But with the way technology is headed, we could see a future where microchip implanting becomes the norm.
I believe that I'm going to be able to use my microchips to do payments in the future, identification, tickets.
In Sweden, every shop, in every kiosk, in public transport, there are always these touch terminals where people either touch their phone or their wallet with a credit card inside. So this means that the infrastructure for making payments also with an implant are already there.
The question is, could this Black Mirror type of technology be implemented in other countries? HUN's ultimate vision is to take health microchips to developing countries where healthcare systems are less developed, so that people in remote areas with limited access to hospital facilities could just send their health information to doctors around the world to receive diagnosis. But until that technology is fully developed, would you be willing to get a microchip?
Hey, the answer is no, yo. Right? So don't take the RFID microchip, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Israelites. In the hour of temptation, you will be tested to take this RFID microchip, yo. You know what I mean? But refuse the RFID microchip or die. You know what I mean? This is Revelation 14:9. It says, "And the third angel followed him, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of his holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." Right? So refuse the RFID microchip. In the hour of temptation, the Most High shall fight for you, yo. If you're an Israelite, that is, you know. So hey, with that, this is just an update again. Hope it was edifying, right? To the body out there. I mean, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bashim Haushai, Bashim Rakah Kodash. The honors again to the elders and apostles of James Great Soon. Peace, love, and salutations to all of the Akims in the four corners of this earth, pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. Shalom.
How have the central bankers, this is my last slide because my 12 minutes is just up, have reacted to the truth coming out? They admit that they've been telling porkies, and now they propose to increase their power. So central bankers belatedly admit, oh, now that you've mentioned it, yes, banks create the money supply. So let's abolish that now. And also, by the way, let's abolish cash. So what should we do? Well, introduce digital cyber currency that central banks issue and control, and thereby gain total control over all economic transactions, decisions, and the whole lot you've just heard from the CEO of the GDI. So the greatest concentration of central banking power in history is really the bid they're aiming at. That's the central bank's goal. And of course, digital accounts of dissenters and regime critics could be switched off. It'd be very difficult to even purchase necessities. So this is an Orwellian dystopia of total control, the end of any freedoms. That's really what central banks are aiming at. Several central banks have, like the Bank of England, already prepared their microchip implant, RFID chip, to be implanted under your skin. And why is there sudden discussion about universal basic income from all the grassroots and inverted commas movement and billionaires? Oh, universal basic income is the bribe for you to accept the microchip. The overarching trend of the 20th century is concentration of power in the hands of the few. That's what we have to keep in mind. We have to work against this. We don't want to have these unaccountable central planners making decisions. We need decentralization, and the solution therefore is to maintain public money in the hands of local community banks, decentralize decision making, give local people the power. From local public banks and local not-for-profit community banks. As I walked in, I was delighted to see that the Gottlieb Duttweiler Institute is also about Genossenschaft cooperatives, and of course the majority of banks in Germany are cooperative banks, and that's really what we need. So